Yesterday here on the program, I explained to you the three existential threats to this country as I see them are China, and then China. And for a variety of reasons, whether it's military, cultural, financial. China's coming at us from every direction possible. Their Belt and Road Initiative is infiltrating countries all over the world, including Central and South America. You know, prior to the election of Javier Milei in Argentina, the Chinese were working on building a factory to build fighter jets in South America. What could possibly go wrong with that? Anna Mu is a member of the new federal state of China. She joins me now to discuss this in greater detail. Anna, nice to see you.
Nice to see you. Thanks for having me here.
It seems to me that China is ramping up for action, for potential conflict, and in those areas, whether it's Chinese nationals coming across the southern border without explanation, tens of thousands of military-aged men, gearing up with military bases around the world, gearing up to deal with us in a cyberspace attack, gearing up to deal with the possible attack of Taiwan. Everywhere I look, the Chinese Communist Party and dictator Xi seem to be gearing up for some sort of serious conflict with the United States. What say you?
Well, that's indeed the case, and that's what we have got from our exclusive intel from within the system. So what has been happening recently is we know there are large amounts of military bases that has been built and they have been testing, they have been doing military drills inside China and in the surrounding regions. For example, there are information that we can share here is, for example, the CCP and Russia. They have been doing lots of research on underwater nuclear weapons, and they will directly inform North Korea and Iran of the results on their research, which we know will pose the greatest threat and also danger to the West. And the other thing is the Chinese Communist Party is already very mature in this regard. You know, it's very mature for what they have already been planning. So the CCP have brought and have been stealing the American technology and sharing it with Russia, North Korea, and Iran. And next, the underwater nuclear weapons will be used in conjunction with the spy balloons, with the balloons we have already seen that had been possible to carry out time bombs, carry out the weapons in a possible war against Taiwan, and of course, the possible war between the CCP, China, and also the United States. So imagine that. And the other thing is, we have already shared and have already been seeing the Chinese Communist Party has mastered something as a pre-launch detection, which is a pre-launch strike. So essentially, it's using the absolute accurate missile equipped with special chips automatically find the targets. Yeah, that's what it is.
So when you say a special chip, explain that in a little more detail so people understand exactly what you mean by that.
Yeah, well, it's definitely these high advanced chips, these technology. And I mean, when I say technology, I'm talking about AI. I'm talking about these semiconductor chips that is actually not manufactured just from within the Chinese Communist Party, within the CCP China, because they don't have the technology, they don't have the system. They stole from the West. They stole from, for example, here in the United States. So what it means is a devastating strike can be completed before the target, before the missile is even launched. And the CCP is continuing to research this technology and is still researching countermeasures to this technology. So it's one possible war is going to be breaking out. That means, for example, the missiles launched or are about to be launched by the United States, by Japan, by Taiwan, it will automatically be targeted already before it is even being set in place. And then talking about the military bases, for example, in Dunhuang, in Ganshu, there have been conducted many tests on the satellite electronic countermeasures and coordinated interactions with the CCP's hidden military bases around the world. So it means the bases they have been building before, they can work together with it.
Right, so they can reach us in a variety of ways. And I understand the American military is very advanced and we can do a lot of different things, but it doesn't seem that we're on a war footing where it does seem that Beijing is gearing up and putting the war machine into drive, maybe into full speed drive. And that concerns me. And I want to focus, I've got a couple of minutes left. The ability for the Chinese Communist Party and the People's Liberation Army to attack us by way of cyber, to attack our energy infrastructure, to attack our water infrastructure, and things like that. That's very advanced as well, isn't it?
Yes, that is indeed true. And it's through all the ways of what we would call as unrestricted warfare. It's warfare through the means that you cannot see. And it's warfare through the means that is being hidden, is being anything actually be forbidden in normal perspective. So the war for the CCP has never been the war based on human rights or normal perspective war from what we would see as the view. So if they want to win the war or to launch the war, they do not care for the civilians' lives, and they can do anything that is being forbidden as our normal perspective. And we're talking about, like you said, about the water, about the energy, about chemical weapons, bioweapons, nuclear weapons. And so as an NFSC fellow fighter and the whistleblower, we have already discussed many times in the past about the CCP. There is never something that they cannot do. There's only thing that you cannot think of or imagine of. It's a common saying that we share quite a lot. It is basically they can do a lot of things that's out of your imagination. This action put out, it's invisibles on the way that has been passed,
right.
It has happening in the past decades. Yeah.
We need to wake up and be cognizant of what's going on here in America. We're working on pronouns and other stuff, wasting our time. It's sad. If you want to know more about the new federal state of China, go to at NFSC Speaks. At NFSC Speaks on social media platforms. You're going to find them. You need to be informed about what's going on. You need to be clear-eyed about what's truly at stake here, because I do believe the only existential threat to America is China. Anna, greatly appreciate you being here as always. Thank you.
Thank you very much for having me.
There you have it. What do you think of that? We'll get back to your phone calls. Free for All Friday, 877-310-9966 after the break. 877-310-9966. And for the rest of the day, write it down. Come on in. Listen, you can watch the live feed on Twitter or X if you prefer. You can watch it there. Stay with us.